can you please share your professional journey and what led you to find Mercantile Mergers and Acquisitions?
I am introduced to many different companies. I start with counseling company owners and doing evaluation.
What were the early challenges you faced while building Mercantile?
Many young people today don't want to work with a small little firm because we eat what we kill. So we've had some incredible good years and we've had some very poor years. And it all comes down to if we don't close a deal, we don't eat.
Your firm focuses on mid-market and family businesses. Why is this so important?
So I focus on companies, as I say, that do $2 to $15 million of EBITDA. That's generally considered the mid-market.
How has the company evolved since it started in 1987?
I don't raise capital for companies. I don't raise venture capital. I am strictly involved in the sell side, mid-market sell side M&A.
What are the most common mistakes business owners make when preparing to sell their companies?
Good financial data that we can take to market and stand behind. In all cases, at the end, we do a quality of earnings report so that any buyer who's done their due diligence is comfortable that what's been reported.
What advice would you give to entrepreneurs who want to build a business that is attractive for acquisition?
No guts, no glory. Today, we have a lot of people that aren't prepared to put any of their own money into an acquisition. When we built Simtech, we put everything on the line.
Dear audience, this is Sher Afzal, the founder, the chairman of Global CEO Club. Since last many episodes of the podcast of Global CEO Club, I'm sharing that I started this awesome journey to make Global Alliance around 8 years ago. Now the Global CEO Club has very strong footprints all over the world, and the presence of Global CEO Club has significant presence across the world. Today, we have invited very enthusiastic, very energetic, very strong personality, Mr. Mark Borkowski. So thank you so much, Mr. Mark. And I'm very grateful to you. You spared some time to discuss your vision, your mission with the audience of Global CEO Club and to make them progress all over the world. So thank you once again. Please introduce yourself to the business community of the world, please.
So as I've indicated, I'm an electrical engineer, MBA from the University of Toronto. I come from a long line of engineers. My grandfather was an engineer. My father was an engineer. My brother's an engineer, now retired. My son's a biomedical engineer. I graduated close to the bottom of my class. I was not enthused about engineering, but I did the MBA and I joined Hewlett-Packard, HP, as a sales engineer. And I sold to the automotive electronics industry for 7 years. And I traveled about 30 weeks a year all throughout the United States. Anywhere there was electronics manufactured in a car, they tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Mark, you're the top guy. We'd like you to head this group up in Cupertino, California." Now, I'd been to the San Francisco Bay Area where all the factories of HP were many times. We took people from the automotive factories to our factories. And so I did the interview, and they offered me the job, a big job. I came home. I said to my wife, "We're moving to Cupertino, California." And my wife said, "No, we're not." My son was 5. My daughter was 2. And I was stunned, but I let HP know that I couldn't do it. They said, "We'll wait another year." They could have waited 10 years. My wife wasn't going to move. So I spent another year at HP, and I left with 3 other engineers, and we started a company called Simtech Automation software for the automotive industry. We grew from the four of us to 192 people in 5 years, totally self-funded, very profitable company. And when my partners and I disagreed on everything, we decided to sell the company because we couldn't work together any longer to Motorola for $48 million 39 years ago. I left. I've never seen my ex-partner since. It was very acrimonious. However, I wanted to buy a business, but I didn't. I didn't find anything I wanted to acquire, but I put two clients together. So I've been selling private businesses now for 38 years. In my business, it's very, very important to network. After I did my third transaction, I shared office space with a large public company, a private equity group. They schooled me in the art of private equity and doing mergers and acquisitions in a professional way. I attended virtually every networking event, every lawyer's private equity accounting events. Last year, I gave out over 4,000 business cards. I have generated my deal flow by writing articles. I've been published a little over 2,000 times in the trade magazines. Canadian Electronics, Canadian Metalworking Magazine. I had an article published last week. Owners and CEOs read trade magazines. They may not read the daily news and the business pages, but they read the trade magazines. So I've been very successful in selling private businesses. I've never scaled. I have two associates who are CPAs. One's a CBV. One was an employee. He's now an associate. And I have a full-time researcher, a full-time analyst, and I always maintain one or two co-op students. So we've consummated close to not just under about 400 transactions. I focus on companies that generally do Canadian, by American standards, it would be about 1.5 million EBITDA. By Canadian standards, $2 to $15 million of EBITDA, and mostly in manufacturing. And because I've made a lot of contacts and I go to a lot of events, I probably see more deal flow than even some of the big accounting firms. So I'm well known in my marketplace. As I said, I'm 70 years of age. I work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, except on obviously religious holidays. And I'm very grateful to be invited to the Global CEO Club. Thank you, Cher.
Thank you so much for the detailed introduction and your hardworking. You are in the age of 70s, and still you are very young and energetic person. So, as I mentioned, that Global CEO Club has diversified business segments like International Trade Alliance, International Business Alliance, uh, to arrange investments for the mega projects, whether related with the private sector or, in other words, related with the public sector. As you are available in the whole world, similarly, Global CEO Club is available in the whole world. As I shared, that Global CEO Club has very, very strong footprints all over the world. And this is just because of my 8 years efforts, 8 years struggles by working day and night. Thank you so much once again, boss. And we continue our session. Our today's session is related with mercantile mergers and acquisitions. The main theme,
Yes.
the main theme of today's episode is mastering the exit, turning businesses into legacy wealth. The focus is how business owners can successfully sell and maximize value. It's best for entrepreneurs and founders and CEOs and MDs and directors of the businesses. So we proceed. Can you please share your professional journey and what led you to find mercantile mergers and acquisitions? In short.
So my journey, of course, I am, because I'm an entrepreneur. I am introduced to many, many different companies. I start with counseling company owners and doing a valuation. I do the valuation. So it's no cost, no obligation. It takes about 4 hours. We do it real time in their office. And I will put forward an opinion, handwritten notes in terms of what I believe the value of the business is. I counsel the company owner or CEO in terms of what the process is. And if they're of the size of company that I'm working with, we do a very wide distribution. I don't say I have a buyer for the business. In our case, we buy data. We buy data from a group that used to be PitchBook. And so we will distribute an opportunity internationally. We get a small retainer because most company owners and entrepreneurs don't like to pay fees. We will prepare a teaser. We will prepare a proper confidential information memorandum. It's very detailed. People are impressed with the work we do. And we will send that teaser out to a very, very targeted group, in some cases 400 or 500 international potential buyers, and we get a response. And if you send out 400 teasers, no name, you get a great response from a wide network. From that process, we sign NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. And for those that have been approved by our client, we obviously send them the confidential information memorandum and the process gets started. Along the way, of course, we spend a lot of time with our client and we obviously counsel them on the whole process. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of tax planning. It's not what you get, it's what you keep. So as long as we are aligned in terms of value, I would tell you that probably 3 out of 5 initial discussions, owners have greater value or perceived value of their business. In those cases, I ask them to reconsider, or I simply pass on the opportunity because owners that have some high expectation, generally speaking, don't sell. Those that are motivated, those owners that have a realistic valuation, realistic terms and conditions. And today, the vast majority of buyers are the private equity community, without question, although they are not the only buyers. The buyers are the private equity community, strategic buyers, established family offices. We stay clear of what's referred to as the search funders, the independent sponsors, the pledge funds, and what I refer to as the LBO dreamers. The last 3 transactions we completed were all cash, all with private equity groups. It's a very competitive market at the moment, incredibly competitive. I would tell you that in 2019, our association, the Private Equity and Venture Capital Association, made a grand declaration share, and they said there was $1.1 trillion available for opportunities in the mid-market. Everybody said, my gosh, wow. Well, you know what? August of 2025, they put out another report and they said it's now $3.2 trillion. 24% of all the 4,000 private equity groups that have at least $500 million of captive capital had to give the money back to their general partners, limited partners, and endowments because they couldn't put the money out. There's an incredulous amount of money. There's an incredulous number of buyers looking for very, very few good opportunities. So today, most owners are asked to roll some equity and remain with the business. The private equity community would like to see owners keep at least 10, maybe 20% and remain with the business for a certain period of time. Those are transactions that have been very successful. At the moment, we're working on a very large transaction. A metal stamping company does over $100 million Canadian in revenue. And we have letters of intent from the big automotive companies internationally. We're focused at the moment on companies in Germany, Italy, and and specifically Japan. Stamping is an old industry, so it's an old established company. The owner is past retirement, So we hope to have that transaction completed soon. 2 weeks ago, we sold a company in the industrial tank business to a private equity group. And again, a very large transaction, and it was all cash. Reason being, we had 11 letters of intent without even trying. So, it's not. I'm no magician. The issue is that there's a lot of very qualified buyers and qualified capital looking for good deals. That's the key.
So thank you so
Back to
much.
you.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yes, you have versatile experience. I must appreciate, and you carry this experience through a long struggle. Uh, we continue.
I'd say one other thing. So, because deal flow is very difficult, I have been published I write a lot of articles for the trade magazines. I've been published close to 2,000 times. Um, Trade magazines are read by CEOs and company owners. They may not read the daily media, but they read the trade magazines. I go to all the conferences, all the trade shows. And as I said, last year I gave out over 4,000 business cards. So I am very active. You've got to network in order to find deal flow, in order to find good relationships. It's all about building relationships.
Yes. You are very right. Networking is a business. That's why Global CEO Club is in struggle to make network of the business community across the globe. Another business segment of Global CEO Club is a marketplace. Global CEO Club has its own very strong marketplace where business community can display uh, their companies, their products to make live expo. Okay, and
Okay.
it's a digital expo. Companies only engage themselves uh, in 2 or 3 days expos physically, but through global CEO marketplace they can advertise, they can market their companies all over the world uh, through the marketplace of global CEO club. Another business segment, as you are saying, that the CEOs, the owners of the companies are always willing to read magazines, trade magazines. Global CEO Club has its own magazine that is being released almost every month. It's a digital magazine. It covers the whole world and it's circulated all over the world. So we continue our discussion, sir. Once again, I'm very grateful to you for your presence with us. What were the early challenges you faced while building Mercantile?
The challenges, of course, are, to be very honest with you, because I'm a small organization. Um, I've Many young people today don't want to work with a small little firm because we eat what we kill. So we've had some incredible good years and we've had some very poor years. And it all comes down to, if we don't close a deal, we don't eat. And the compensation structures that I structure with the analysts that have worked with me is that they share, there's a base salary, and they share in the upside. So we've had analysts who've made a small fortune, and for some of the lean years, they've all they've received is a base salary and some expenses. But my view is that if you don't have some skin in the game and commitment to the opportunity, you're not going to be committed. So that's been a challenge, finding good people who will be entrepreneurial in our process.
Thank you, sir. We proceed with what's the core mission and vision of Mercantile Mergers and Acquisitions?
So I'm incorporated as a private company, and I've been incorporated as Mercantile Mergers and Acquisitions for 38 years. We have a holding company, obviously, where we obviously send dividends up into our holding company. So we take our own tax planning advice as we give tax planning. Although I'm not a tax planner, I'm not a tax accountant, we encourage all our clients to seek good advice. good legal advice, good finance, accounting advice, and we tend to work with the larger firms on all fronts, so that the owners have, a diversity of opinion. I encourage the owners to seek other counsel, not just me. They don't know me. They've met me maybe for the first time. So I encourage them to seek other professionals to give them opinions on value, opinions on tax, and opinions on the process. So after I've completed a valuation, I encourage them to go get another value from a learned individual who understands valuations, so that they understand that, I'm not trying to steal their business. My objective is to encourage them to make sure that they are comfortable with the process. We get the family involved. Of course, because most of these companies are sold as a result of either a retirement, sometimes family dispute, shareholder dispute. So we get very actively involved. We work on a very modest success fee. And my philosophy is we get paid when they get paid. So if they've received 70% of the proceeds up front and are going to get paid over the next 2 years, we stay around for the next 2 years. Why? Because always, not always, but I'd say a majority of the time, some dispute, some issue comes up in year one. And instead of them calling a lawyer and saying, we have a dispute with our buyer, we have a dispute with our seller, they bring me into the picture. I know the seller, I know the buyer, so I get involved in trying to settle these disputes. So I am from beginning to the very end. And so I can provide you all kinds of references of companies I've sold. And I guess more particularly, in terms of getting references of people who will say Mark is straightforward. No monkey business, no side fees. We work on a standard agreement called the Lehman scale. And again, a small retainer. That retainer is deducted from the fees at the end, to prove goodwill.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Your firm focuses on mid-market and family businesses. Why is this
Yes.
so important?
Well, first of all, larger transactions, I'm not qualified or not able to access the very, very large deals. In the M&A community here in North America, there's some very large firms. The big banks, the big accounting firms, the big brokerage firms are all doing mergers and acquisitions. I at times feel that everybody is a competitor. So I focus on companies, as I say, that do $2 to $15 million of EBITDA. That's generally considered the mid-market. I like manufacturing because I come from manufacturing, although I've worked on all kinds of transactions. I don't get involved in any real estate. I don't understand real estate. And to be very honest with you, even though our economy here is a mining economy, I don't do anything in the mining industry. So privately owned mid-market companies, owners that are calling at the end of the day.
So thank you, sir, once again. How has the company evolved since it started in 1987?
Well, it's evolved in terms of, I'll be honest with you, I do the same thing. I only do one thing. I don't raise capital for companies. I don't raise venture capital. I am strictly involved in the sell side, mid-market sell side M&A. I only sell private companies, and I only sell those companies where my views are aligned with the owner and we're on the same wavelength.
Thank you, sir. Our next section is related with mergers and acquisitions insights. What are the most common mistakes business owners make when preparing to sell their companies?
Oh, there's so many mistakes. We could spend an hour on many of the mistakes. Many of the mistakes they make is that they are not prepared by providing us good and reliable financial and corporate information. That by far is the most difficult one. And they're not able or not willing to provide reliable information so that substantial due diligence can be conducted. If they can't do that, then we send them back to the beginning and say, you've got to be able to prepare not audited statements, but review engagement, good financial data that we can take to market and stand behind. In all cases, at the end, we do a quality of earnings report so that any buyer who's done their due diligence is comfortable that what's been reported, that we've normalized the EBITDA and the normalization is true and honest. And many owners try to deceive and hide things, and that becomes an issue.
Thank you, sir. What factors influence the valuation of a privately held businesses?
Well, I'll tell you that what creates a big issue in valuation is customer concentration. So I went to see a company about a month ago, and he was proud. He was proud of the fact that he had one customer that gave him 72% of his revenue. And when I told him that the valuation based on a company that is giving him north of 70% with one customer, that the valuation can't be market value, that he's going to have to consider taking some portion of the proceeds in an earnout. And of course, he balked at that. But it's the biggest issue today, honestly, is customer concentration. Many of these private owners have had one or two or three customers for a long period of time. They're very comfortable with that customer. However, those customers exceed what's normal by textbook. Any company that has one single customer that gives them more than 15, maybe 20% of their revenue is very difficult to bring to market at fair market value. Customer concentration.
Yes, you are right, sir. As I mentioned, that Global CEO Club main task is to create alliance among the business community. For that purpose, Global CEO Club from time to time is going to organize expos, trade events, like seminars, like conferences, not only in Pakistan but worldwide.
Yes.
Recently, Global CEO Club is going to organize an on-site expo in Pakistan on 9, 10, 11th May. And the second one is going to be organized in Saudi Arabia. This would be through Global CEO Club and my strategic partners. So from time to time, Global CEO Club is supporting the business community to expand their businesses worldwide, to generate sales, to generate businesses. So thank you so much once again, I'm very grateful to you. We continue, sir.
Thank you. And I would encourage all of the members to reach out to me. Many companies around the world say, we're looking to sell product in your country. Recently, less than a week ago, a company from Italy is trying to introduce a new cheese product. I gave them the names of 4 distributors and potential partners here. So not only am I doing mergers and acquisitions, I'm introducing people who would like to come into our country or the United States by giving them introductions. I have a mailing list and contact list of about 60,000 people that I stay in touch with. So if you're interested in cheese, food, technology, I will introduce people to all kinds of people. No cost, no obligation, no fee. It's part of networking. It's part of developing long-term relationships. So we have had people from all over the world reach out, from Eastern Europe, from China, from Japan, from India especially, I mean, the number of Indian and Pakistani companies that are trying to settle out here in North America, I can't count. And they need an introduction. They need a start. So they will call me and I will pull out a list of names and say, you should speak with these following people to get started. And it's
Yeah,
part of the relationship.
yeah, wonderful.
So instead of taking any compensation, all I ask is if they're coming, they buy lunch.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Our next section is related with buyers and investors. You work with strategic buyers, private equity firms, family offices, and high net worth investors. How do, how,
Yes.
how do you match the right buyer with the right company?
Well, it's a shopping process. I mean, because there's such a shortage of good companies, I would tell you that the vast majority of transactions are done in an auction process. I mean, we can have 10 or 15 letters of intent for every transaction. If we've done a wide distribution, the owners will have an opportunity to deal with companies that are a good fit, who will put forward the very best transaction. It's not always about price, it's about best fit. So, again, we stay away from the leverage buyers because they try to buy the company with the owner's money, the LBO buyers. There's too many of them. So there's a large community of groups that are legitimate, well capitalized, ethical organizations, and they today happen to be the private equity community and the strategic buyers. The private equity community move very quickly. Strategic buyers are slower. However, we reach out to a defined group every time.
So, thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Many,
sir.
many World Trade Centers, like World Trade Center Colombia, World Trade Center Luxembourg, World Trade Center Mumbai, World Trade Center Miami, are part of Global CO Club. Okay.
Yes.
As I shared with you, that Global CO Club has very strong footprints for the business community to create collaboration, to create alliance, to boost their businesses. As you said, that there are multiple business opportunities uh, to sell cheese, to sell any other product. Okay. Similarly, Global CO Club can create alliance between the buyer and seller worldwide,
Yes.
not only from
Yes.
Pakistan or India, from the worldwide.
Yes.
We can create collaboration. We can create alliance. The ultimate objective is to support the business community through this platform.
Absolutely.
Yeah, through this mega platform, I must say. So we continue, sir. Can you explain the typical process of selling a mid market company?
So, as I said from the outset, we do evaluation. We start by doing evaluation. We sign an NDA. We meet with the owner. We do evaluation in their office or in their home. I do it. It's standard normalization of income, and I express a valuation opinion, and I express a process going forward. So it starts with doing evaluation, me expressing an opinion, allowing them to get a second or third opinion, and then if the company owner is wishes to be engaged, we give them a proposal based on a contingency agreement. We get a small retainer or work fee to prepare a teaser and a confidential information memorandum. We invest, as I say, in buying data. So we have a source of data. Today, it's a group called Source Scrub. We have the names in any industry. If it was in the business card field, we would have the names of every company in the world that produces business cards, or any industry. We would sit with our company owner and we would review the names of the groups that we hope to contact. And we contact those people by teaser initially. And it's a blind teaser. And from there, we get a great response. If we've contacted 400 companies who are qualified, who are of a size, of a good reputation, we get a great response.
Thank you, sir.
It's important that our client be responsive in terms of providing good information because we get lots of questions that come back. And if the owner isn't prepared to provide information, the process is stagged.
Yeah. I must say that our today's episode or session would be very encouraging and would be very supportive to the business community to accelerate in the whole world, to penetrate in the whole world.
Thank
So,
you.
I'm once again, I'm very grateful to you being with us, being with the audience of Global CEO Club. We
I'm
continue.
grateful that you've invited me.
Yeah, we continue. Our next area is industry expertise. What industries are currently seeing the most mergers and acquisitions actively?
Probably in North America, I would say that it would be manufacturing. It would be the service industry. So we would likely see the greatest number of companies that are exiting to China, to India. So many of these manufacturing companies today are probably smaller companies that were long established here in North America, outsource their products to China, India, the Far East, and Europe, times a smaller version of themselves than they were in the past. So manufacturing, of course, because of high labor rates, high regulatory environments today are for sale, and they are generally acquired by companies that are international companies that can bring value.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So economic trends have not affected the mergers and acquisitions business in North America, to be honest. There is so much capital available and so many buyers that we have not seen any kind of economic slowdown, except the one period that it was during COVID and shortly after COVID, where companies had obviously devastation. Other than that, we've enjoyed 38 years, or 38 years less the period of COVID, the 2.5 or 3 years. We've enjoyed a very vibrant market. If you're working every day, you'll be doing deals every day. And if you're building relationships with good companies and good organizations, you'll always thrive.
Yes. Thank you, sir. We proceed with the next section that is related with advice for entrepreneurs. What advice would you give to entrepreneurs who want to build a business that is attractive for acquisition?
No guts, no glory. Today, we have a lot of people that aren't prepared to put any of their own money into an acquisition. When we built Simtech, we put everything on the line. We didn't go looking for outside capital. I encourage entrepreneurs to have skin in the game. If they put skin in the game, they will attract other investors. For those groups that come and approach us and say, well, I want somebody to finance us 100%, I wish them well. No guts, no glory. So individuals that are not prepared to work, invest time, and do everything in the beginning. In the beginning, you have to do everything. In the beginning, when we started Simtech, I would come in on the weekends and clean the toilets and do the general maintenance work. You've got to be prepared to do everything in the beginning and not count on others to do it. So I encourage young people, I encourage managers, people looking for an entrepreneurial career to have some of their own capital invested and do a proper business plan. Do your planning. And once if you're involved and you're invested in the deal, others will join you.
Yeah, thank you. I must say that you are a good salesman, as you have a lot of experience and you can sell anything.
I've been selling my whole life.
Yeah, yeah. You are very good speaker. You are very good salesman. So we continue. When should a business owner start planning their exit strategy?
It should start. Tell you that it starts from the very beginning as you started the business. Many will tell you that you start planning. In many cases, it's when an owner has reached a certain point in their career, in their process, where they're no longer motivated and no longer willing to grow. That's when the process generally begins. Many owners are tired. Some would call it burned out. And at that point, it's probably wise to start the planning process. And the planning process should take at least 2 years in advance so that they can complete providing proper financial disclosure.
Thank you, sir. Our
Thank you,
next
sir.
our next section is for leadership and vision. What leadership principles have guided you throughout your career?
I am a voracious reader, and so I study all kinds of management techniques, and I have followed some of the great thinkers. I attend many seminars, many webinars, and I know little. I defer to people who are smarter than me. So I attend the university webinars frequently and have an open mind about different leadership. In leadership and in management, it's all about uh, integrity, being transparent, and being very open with the people that you're dealing with, particularly employees. Total, total integrity, being honest with people. Sometimes you have to deliver bad news. A lot of times you deliver bad news. So it's all about being transparent. No, nothing hidden, nothing, nothing undisclosed.
Yes, thank you. It's a good gesture, being businessman, that you are working with a great honesty. Okay, thank you. We move for the closing section. And what message would you like to share with business owners considering selling their companies?
Do proper preparation, seek counsel, learn the process, understand what's involved in the sale of a business. I give people various books. I purchase books. I have a library here of books on the whole process, and I almost demand that they understand and read these books, how the process works from the beginning of the valuation all the way through the process. And I communicate frequently with my clients. So I encourage them to communicate with me. And any project that I'm working on, I will be touching base with people on a regular basis, sometimes daily. So it's usually a process. Anyone who thinks that they're going to sell the business within 3 months or 6 months isn't going to be successful. In all cases, it usually takes about a year to make sure we've covered all the bases, that we've been able to provide all the information and been totally transparent and totally honest with our buyers.
Yes, uh, you are right, that the businessman has to serve the community with patience for a long time. In short time, in short term, business can't be successful. As you know, that I started this journey 8 years ago, and till date, I haven't started to receive money against this venture since last 8 years, and I'm spending money. I'm spending my time around 18 hours daily for the club. I'm spending, okay, and even then, I haven't received even a penny from the members of the club, and giving them free services.
And free
since
advice.
yeah, free services, free advice, free alliance since last 8 years. So what do you think to do business from Pakistan for Canada? As you know, we are going to have an expo in Canada during the month of May. My partner, Asian Business Forum, was doing that event in Canada. What do you see about the exports from Pakistan?
There are many companies at the moment from Pakistan and India, and much, by the way, much less from China than in previous. So there's many Pakistani companies looking for joint ventures, Indian companies that want to manufacture here or sell product here. We encourage it. We encourage developing relationships and trading worldwide. And the same thing with Canadians who are looking abroad, who would like to sell product into the Eastern Bloc, to sell more products to India. Joint ventures, strategic partnerships. That's that's where the benefit is. You don't need compensation from that. We've created value.
How Global CEO Club and your entity or your guidance can be associated, can be aligned for the progress of the business?
I encourage anybody who is a member to reach out to me with any kind of request. I will be very upfront and honest. Anyone who would like to sell product in Canada or the United States, if they have a product and they're doing something in Pakistan, I will introduce them to people that can help them or get them started. I may not follow through. I mean, I'm not a trade representative, but I certainly will give them proper introductions. That I can promise.
Wonderful. Uh, Finally, I'm very grateful to you for your precious time, and you shared a lot of innovative ideas, innovative suggestions to the business community. I'm very grateful to you, and thank you so much. Have a nice
And I'm
time.
thankful to you, Cher. Thank you for setting this up and thank you for inviting me to the club.
Thank you.
I hope that I can be of benefit and add value.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you. Bye bye.
Take care. Be well, sir. Thank you kindly.
Bye bye.